There is trouble in paradise for the Buffalo Bills. I don't know how long it's been going on, but it was on full display in Sunday's game versus the Bengals. And no, this doesn't actually have to do with their on-the-play field, even though that wasn't good either. I think it's fair to say the Bills have had a disappointing season. They were favored to win the Super Bowl after week 1 of this season and got eliminated in dominant fashion by the Bengals in the divisional round. I wanted the Bills to win the Super Bowl so bad this year. I thought it was finally their year, especially after last season's heartbreaking end. Bills fans literally deserve the world. They are so cool and so fun and have never got to experience their team win at all, which makes me so sad for them. There's so many things that made this season so challenging for the Bills, from the injuries to the snowstorms and of course Damar Hamlin. The Bills as a whole played a bad game yesterday from offense to defense, but towards the end of the game, the camera caught 2 of their star players getting heated. With about 6 minutes to go, down 17, we see Josh Allen sitting on the bench, looking down, presumably at a tablet, but you can't really see what he's looking at. Then Stefon Diggs comes over and starts yelling at him and throwing his arms up in the air repeatedly, clearly very upset with Josh Allen. Josh Allen just doesn't acknowledge him or really look up and engage. Obviously, yelling at your teammate when you're both captains on the sideline isn't a good look, but listen, emotion gets the best of all of us at times, right? Luckily, we don't have a camera pointed at us with millions of people watching, but I understand emotion getting the best of you at times. The thing is, this story gets worse though. Bills reporter for The Athletic, Joe Buscaglia, tweeted this after the game. Bills wide receiver Stefon Diggs darted out of the locker room with all his stuff before some of the Bills coaches were even down to the tunnel area. Practice squad running back Duke Johnson stopped Diggs before he left the stadium and brought him back to the locker room. He left a few minutes later. All of this is eerily similar to what happened with Diggs just a few seasons ago. If you don't remember, Stefon Diggs was drafted by the Minnesota Vikings. He played his first 5 seasons in the league in Minnesota, but then requested a trade at the end of the 2019 season. Things really heated up in October of 2019 when he started missing practices and meetings. He did end up being fined for this, but still finished the season with Minnesota. Then on March 16th, 2020, Diggs tweeted this: "It's time for a new beginning." It's important to note that he tweeted this just hours after Ian Rappaport tweeted this out. The Vikings have agreed to terms on a 2-year extension with quarterback Kirk Cousins. A few days after Diggs sent that tweet, he was traded to the Buffalo Bills. The first round pick the Bills traded for Diggs actually ended up being the pick Minnesota used to draft wide receiver Justin Jefferson. But Diggs said after the trade wasn't about anyone on the team or his teammates. He said, quote, "I have nothing but love and respect for those guys, but where they were and where they were headed, in my eyes, it wasn't going to be in the best interest of my career. As a receiver, if you want to have success, you've got to catch the ball," end quote. Anyone else see some similarities in these two situations? This also wasn't the first time this season Stefon Diggs showed frustration on the sideline. In their game versus the Browns, Stefon Diggs didn't have a target yet. He was on the sideline super frustrated, and Sean McDermott had to come over and settle him down and console him, basically. This isn't like the situation we had with Kyler and Cliff Kingsbury, where Kyler was basically screaming at his coach. Back to the game versus the Bengals though. Yes, Josh Allen didn't play his best game. And yes, he did miss Diggs on a throw, but Diggs only had 4 receptions for 35 yards on 10 targets. Diggs hasn't been perfect throughout his playoff career in Buffalo either. In his 7 playoff games with the Bills, he only has 2 touchdowns. And in last year's crazy AFC divisional round loss versus the Chiefs, Diggs only had 7 receiving yards. Players have bad games. It happens. Even the best players have games where they don't perform to their standards. That's why I don't understand why Diggs is yelling at Allen on the sideline. That's your teammate. That's your brother. You gotta be lifting him up when he is down. You can't be tearing him down when he's already struggling. What's that going to do to help the team? I know frustration probably played a big part in this, but don't you think Josh Allen was frustrated too? And then on top of all of this, the storming out of the locker room and trying to leave early is just really not a good look for a team captain. With Diggs' history of requesting a trade before in his career, do we think it's possible he requests a trade out of Buffalo? Maybe? And if there's more tension than we think in the locker room, it's possible the Bills even go ahead and trade Diggs without him requesting a trade. Remember, he is going to be turning 30 next season. I want to know what you guys think about this whole Stefon Diggs situation. Do you think he's going to be on a different team next year? Drop a comment down below. Appreciate you guys watching till the end. Peace.